While the majority of CB Premium models have the same structure as the model that we just reviewed, some popular CB Premium models have a different format. These are the Perfringens predictor, the E. coli inactivation in fermented meats model, the pathogen growth predictor, risk ranger, and an interface for process lethality calculation. Let's briefly examine these models, starting with Perfringens predictor. The Perfringens predictor is highly used by food processors that manufacture cooked chilled meat and poultry products. These processors must meet requirements of the USDA Food Safety Inspection Service as defined in the FSIS compliance guidelines for stabilization of fully and partially heat-treated ready-to-eat and not ready-to-eat meat and poultry products. This model is based on the published studies of Lamarck and co-authors in 2008, which were further validated by Moore and co-authors in 2015. The model functions similar to others described earlier in this video. However, there is no static temperature version since the model was specifically designed to help food companies meet USDA requirements for meats that are cooled in a dynamic temperature profile. Other differences include inputs for cured or uncured meat, as well as for pH and sodium chloride level or water activity. After entering these inputs, the net log increase in microbial count should be less than 1 log predicted growth in order to meet USDA requirements. Now let's examine the E. coli inactivation in fermented meats model. Used extensively by sausage processors, this model estimates the inactivation of E. coli during the production of fermented, comminuted, diced, or ground meat. Persons with proper knowledge of this type of processing can enter time-temperature combinations for fermentation and maturation steps, as well as any additional heat treatment. The graph depicts the amount of reduction for each step, as well as the reduction or kill rate for E. coli at each step. When a model does not exist for a specific pathogen-food combination, then the pathogen growth predictor can be a useful tool. Based on the highest pathogen growth rates predicted by the COM-based growth predictor models, this CB Premium model estimates worst-case pathogen growth. The log limit feature lets you set a net log growth, such as 1 log, a level that is often recognized by regulatory authorities as an acceptable increase, such as for Listeria monocytogenes. Shown below the graph is the time to reach the critical log limit. In this case, it takes 3 hours and 50 minutes to reach a 1 log increase. Below this is the risk meter, where you can enter the estimated time that the food will be held, such as, in this case, 2 hours and 15 minutes. The risk meter shows that this growth is in the safer green zone, which equates to an increase of 0.59 log CFU, as shown under the meter. You can also investigate the influence of lower storage temperatures by simply sliding the meter, such as to 10 degrees Celsius. You can now see at the bottom of the page the effect of 10 versus 15 degrees Celsius on the predicted increase. In this case, storing the food at 10 degrees instead of 15 degrees produces only a 0.26 log increase. When you enter a starting date and time, the corresponding date and time when the critical limit is reached is now shown below the graph. For example, this feature can be very useful when planning a catering event. One of our most popular models is Risk Ranger, which is a very useful risk profiling tool, also known as qualitative risk assessment. Here you select different risk scenarios by selecting different options for susceptibility and severity, probability of exposure, probability of food containing an infectious dose, and the potential for cross-contamination after food processing. The results are shown in a simple interface that includes a risk meter and estimates of the probability of daily risk per consumer and within the population of interest. Finally, there is the process lethality model. In this interface, you enter a time temperature profile and then Z, T reference, and D values. Shown below the graph is the estimated F value and associated log reduction. If the log reduction is different than desired, you can enter a target log reduction in the handy F value inspector. For example, entering a value of 6 logs shows a corresponding F value of 129.6 minutes. If you need further information about Z, T reference, and D values for your food of interest, please go into the Models section where you can find links to very useful resources. This ends our video tutorial about CB Premium models. If you have any questions, please contact us at contact@cbpremium.org. Thank you for visiting the CB Premium website, and we hope you will become a subscriber soon.